Alright friends, time for another throwback! So when I made my Beastly video, High School Musical actually came up a lot more than expected, and it was revealed that I'd never actually seen it, just had some osmosis of the more popular songs. So a lot of you wanted me to cover it, and that was what I was gonna do today, until I saw Camp Rock as another suggested film right next to it and realized that I know even less about Camp Rock than I do High School Musical. I know the weird clamping cult Camp Rock walk, I know the J-Bros and Demi are in it, and that's really it. And when I realized that we had just passed the 15-year anniversary of Camp Rock, that solidified my choice. Cause I actually went to rock camp for 3 different summers, so this is just way more up my alley than musical theater basketball. Oh, how wrong I was! If you're wondering why I'm dressed like Ken from Barbie, I'm going to a cowboy party later, and if you were wondering why I'm not wearing a cowboy hat, don't worry about it, I'm just totally unrelated. Don't order cowboy hats from Amazon, they tend not to hold up in shipping. And since cowboys have about as much to do with Camp Rock as Camp Rock has to do with rock music, I figured it would be fine. Also, just put it out there, if this movie means a lot to your childhood, I am not trying to make you feel bad. I have the iron defense of thinking that Twilight is unironically a good book and movie, at least the first one. So while y'all were Camp Rockin' in middle school, I was vampire romancing in high school. No shame, but based on that cult walk scene, I really feel like I'm in for a treat. So it was with great excitement that I get to present to you my first time watching Camp Rock. Camp Rock! All in all, we will be judging the story, the performances, and of course, the music. And the fact that none of the Camp Rock songs have entered my brain through osmosis the same way that High School Musical songs did, I feel like they may not be as memorable, but I also might have just been a little bit too old for said osmosis to take hold. I was already pretty much outside the intended age demographic for High School Musical, so I was well outside it by the time Camp Rock came out. And again, no shade, there's nothing wrong with watching other things because I did watch Lemonade Mouth, which came out a whole year or two later. And I gotta say, after watching this, it's a better movie. But that's okay, that's what we do here, we learn. And there's just no better choice to listen to these Camp Rock bops than today's sponsor, Raycon. You know the drill by now, Raycon provide a variety of affordable and quality audio options like their everyday earbuds, which are my go-to for everything. Whether it's workouts, errands, sleeping through loud neighbors, or travel, I have my Raycons ready to go. Literally, they are so comfortable and sit so flush to the ear, they're the only earbuds I can wear for long periods of time or when trying to sleep. Add in all the tap controls for different sound profiles, and it is no surprise why Raycon have tens of thousands of 5-star reviews. But now Raycon is expanding into some new ventures with Raycon Home and Power Tech. Like the Magic 180 cable that rotates, so you don't have to worry about cable fraying, which comes with different magnetic tips so you can use it across multiple devices. Lots of exciting things to check out, and because we are winding into the holiday season, Raycon has some limited time bundles available at a discount that make for the perfect gift for family or even yourself. You deserve it. I know I'm eyeing the fitness bundle with the washable, swappable ear cuffs and fitness buds. So to check out these bundles and all the other premium Raycon offerings, make sure to go to buyraycon.com/Jedi to save 15% site-wide. So let's dive on into the movie, because they certainly did. There is no opening credits outside the Disney Channel original, and then it's just boom, Camp Rock. Which is when we're introduced to our main character, Mitchie, who gets a little bit of a Michael Scott setup here, where she knocks in her CD, which just happens to open up in a recording software, and all the tracks separated so that she can wake up to rockin'. And this song is kind of a bop. It's not super memorable, so it gets a pretty dece out of 10. But I must mention that one of my favorite things, and by that I mean least favorite, is showing someone playing music but not actually playing it remotely correctly. I'm not saying any of these kids have to be actual musicians like they were in School of Rock, but work with me a little bit. But that brings us to our other lead, I assume, Jonas, Shane Gray, member of the band Connect 3. Okay. And I guess he's a little bit of a petulant rock star. He stormed off the set of their music video, and now they're all fed up and they've canceled the summer tour so he can learn a lesson. Cause that makes sense. Oh no, he threw a little hissy fit, so we're just gonna cancel an entire tour that already sold tickets. Sure. I don't know why, but the first time I watched it, I got the impression that he had committed some kind of minor crime, but no, just a little tantrum. And I bet his punishment's gonna be attending Camp Rock.
I don't want to waste my summer at some camp. I'm Shane Gray, for crying out loud.
Where Mitchie really wants to go, but sadly they can't afford it. But it's all fixed very quickly because her mom offers to be the camp cook, so Mitchie gets to go for a discount if she helps in the kitchen. Also, you might have noticed that this is the mom from Wizards of Waverly Place, and she is very cool. I also imagine that if you have seen this movie, you already knew that that was the mom from Wizards of Waverly Place, but let's just keep going. But immediately I got some weird vibes. We got people doing backflips off the bus, someone just hitting drumsticks against any surface that could make a noise, whatever the fuck this is. I'm getting a bit uneasy. Oh yeah, Allison Stoner is in this. She wants to be a music producer.
Check me out. Cool.
What was that? Okay, sure.
Here at Camp Rock, we sing. Sounds good.
Oh no, this isn't a rock camp. This is musical theater camp. And not even the funny kind.
Because tear sticks are doping for actors. Do you want to be the Lance Armstrong of theater? Get off the stick.
This is a nightmare. You know, School of Rock took place in a prep school, and that was more rock camp-like than Camp Rock. And look, a rock camp and a theater camp with musicians might not sound that different for a summer camp, but I cannot stress how different the vibes would be. I'm sorry if I'm being a little bit too judgmental, but rock camp was a very important part of my adolescence, so like, forgive me, but these vibes are all wrong. Like, I already would have called my mom by now. I would have been walking down some wilderness road until she could come meet me halfway. And it will become obvious that a lot of these are just like rich LA kids whose parents are like at least semi-well-known musicians, or like a lot of them are super well-known musicians, and I feel like that definitely explains some of this. But here comes the J-Bros. Honestly, I really thought that all three of them would end up in here, but I guess this is Shane's summer punishment alone. Teach a bunch of kids how to rock so he learns how to not be a douche. Or something. Because apparently they too used to be camp rockers.
This is where Connect 3 connected.
This is why you're the host of Claim to Fame. I will say though, they nailed the aesthetics. This just screams 07, 08. Like, look at this checkerboard guitar case. We used to be a proper society, and now we're just luxury rustics. So even though no one looked twice at this kid who's just bashing drumsticks into anything near him, there are mean girls at this camp.
Sorry, you're not exactly who you think you are.
Oh god, it's haunting and not at all rock. Why is this called Camp Rock? But the head mean girl's mom is TJ Tyler, who's apparently very famous, and Mitchie is super stoked on that, even though Tess was a bitch to her and Caitlin already confirmed she sucks. But I guess that probably would be exciting for a young teen. But speaking of celebrities, obviously the girls are swarming Shane. Honestly, sending a celebrity who's mostly popular with teen girls to a camp for teenagers feels like the equivalent of, well, honestly, if they had sent Joe Jonas to a camp for young teens in 2008. Not safe. But while he's running from this mob of girls, he overhears Mitchie playing one of her songs. And I actually think I know this one.
I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be now.
Oh my god, I do know a Camp Rock song. Look at me go, hip with the youngins. This one is actually good. Props to them. I think it's pretty high on the bop tier list. But before Shane can see who it was, she's gone.
Hello? Who's in here?
You know if Kevin was still here, he would have made a comment about that being a ghost. But it's dinner time, and obviously we can't just eat. That would be too easy. We get another full music routine.
I need your respect if you're gonna be the one. And if you must abide, then try to get the job done.
And I'm deeming this one not a bop. Like, maybe the music just isn't for me, but I've had to go back and listen to it like 3 times to even remember what it sounded like. So it doesn't stand out. I'm sorry guys, it is not hitting on the bop scale. But it also had me wondering, are some people just here to dance? Like, I assumed Camp Rock would be like teaching people how to write songs better, maybe play their instruments better, just different things like that. Are these kids paying for camp just to provide backup dance? Whatever, we are back to Mitchie, who is kind of striking me the wrong way. Caitlin, the one girl who was nice to her, has already pointed out that Tess isn't very nice, and Tess was already rude to Mitchie. She's also currently in the process of shading Caitlin's mom for not being as popular as her mom, but Mitchie doesn't care. She's just instantly like, oh, I'm sorry, were you talking to Caitlin? My name's Mitchie. With this like full golden retriever look on her face. I'm not trying to be dramatic, but it's like if in the first Harry Potter, Harry shook Draco's hand after he shit on Ron when they got to Hogwarts. Not cool, Mitchie. Like, I get wanting to fit in, but she doesn't even realize how shitty she's being.
Wow, I love your mom. Of course you do.
Oh, right, she's a fan of the mom. She's clout chasing. That's even worse. When she realizes that they're not gonna want anything to do with her if they know what her parents actually do, she lies and says that her mom works for Hot Tunes in China.
The president of Hot Tunes TV.
What could possibly go wrong with that when your mom is currently the camp cook? Also, her dad owns a hardware shop in LA. That seems pretty impressive to me. Like, any ownership in LA, that's probably very cool. But Hot Tunes is all it takes to get her invited to their cabin and table.
I'm good. Thanks for asking.
So rude, Mitchie. She was nice to you, and now you're not even giving her the time of day. Now, obviously, bitchy girl can't just be bitchy. She has nuance. Her mom is neglectful because she's so famous and busy, which does suck. The other two actually do seem nice, but it really feels like they were trying to directly channel the literal Mean Girls. Which is extra funny because I found out the actress who plays Tess is actually in Mean Girls 2, which is a terrible movie, but that is so funny to me. Mildly related and unrelated, she also does the voice of Jessica in Until Dawn, which I think is the only remnant on this channel from my video game playing days.
Jesus Christ!
But when she moves in, they find her songbook, so they ask her to sing a bit, and like, they're all very impressed, but Tess has this look on her face and, oh no, is this girl gonna steal the song, or is she gonna like destroy the book? How evil are we working with here? We will see.
Your music. Are you any good? Maybe. Word of advice? You want to be friends with Tess? Don't be.
So to me, that is just a clear warning not to trust her if you want any chance to shine. But I'm not even sure why Caitlin's even being nice to her right now because you ditched her, Mitchie! And you're doing it again. This is so disappointing, but time to get to class. I just need to have a chat with whoever thought any of this was a good idea.
If the class is a rockin', I'm glad I came knocking. Who wants to sing first?
Oh no, not again. Look guys, we already have School of Rock at this point. You have the blueprint. You have literally everything you need. Why are you doing this? But what do I know? Camp Rock was an international success. I think it really is the title that I'm taking issue with. Like if Raise Your Voice was called Rock Academy, we'd all have an issue with that, right? No? Just me? Okay. So obviously Mitchie gets selected to sing first because she's the main character, but also the only one not desperate to do it, and teachers are the fucking worst like that. JK, some of you are absolutely lovely, and I still think about you to this day. But just like Hilary Duff and Raise Your Voice, Demi belts that shit.
I get to make the future what I want to.
Actually, it's a lot better than Hilary Duff and Raise Your Voice. No offense, Hillary.
You have to sing with us in Final Jam. Your vocals in the background would be like amazing.
Ooh, the shade. So I guess maybe it seems like a less of a steal your work situation, more of a like brute force you into the background tactic.
I was thinking about singing solo. Solo in your first Final Jam? It's brave.
Man, kids are the worst, and I say that as a kid who was occasionally the worst. Mitchie, listen to your own song. I thought you were gonna let the light shine on you. But she heads back to the kitchen to help out her mom, which is obviously when Shane walks in, so she has to come up with this expert disguise. And honestly, it is better than the standard ball cap and sunglasses.
I'm Shane, but I'm sure even the kitchen help knows that.
You're kind of being a jerk.
And you are?
A person.
Oh, so when the rock star is rude to you, you can call him out and stand up for yourself, but the bitchy girl gets a free pass. Okay. You want to be popular, Mitchie? This would be the fastest way. I'm not saying that's the right thing to do, but your current plan is also shitty. And at least the camp dude's also gonna call him out for being a dick.
What happened to the kid who just loved music?
Yeah, he got a little bit of money and turned into a douche canoe. Tale as old as time. But he's in trouble for ditching all the classes, so it's time for hip-hop dance. Why does rock camp have hip-hop dance? And why is a Jonas brother in charge of it?
Grab a mic and a hat. Follow me if you can.
Oh god, this can't be good.
First stop, hit the groove.
What was that?
Next stop, everybody. It's time to celebrate.
Just call the class Boy Band 101 and spare yourself some embarrassment. Why did Joe agree to this? Look, I can't dance for shit, and all my dance moves also originate from the 90s, but even I am flabbergasted by this. Okay, let's get a theoretical poll going. Viewers who were children or preteens when this movie released, did this seem cool to you at the time? Editor Brody, feel free to pop in with your own answer because I know you're Camp Rock's #1 fan.
Okay, full disclosure, I was a child when Camp Rock came out, but I'm not afraid to admit that I was also a very big Jonas Brothers fan. But even so, I had no recollection of this scene, which I just assume is my brain suppressing the memory. So I think it's safe to say, even as a Jonas Brothers fan, this was not a good look.
And then they all just know it without any actual teaching. Like, occasionally they'll have Demi off by like a semi-beat, but she is just following right along. Yeah, I'm sorry, they're not dodging the musical theater allegations. Actually, the only thing that might make more sense is this being like a training camp for Disney stars specifically.
Talk about dancing to the beat of a different drum.
You wanna get on the drums?
Oof, well, at least Shane defends the kid from Tess and like points out how important drummers are.
Now we just have to work on getting that beat from those sticks to those feet.
Okay, that's all great and nice and all, but why does the drummer need to know how to hip-hop dance? He is the last person on stage that could ever possibly need that. Okay, so what you're gonna do is just stop playing, which is the only thing keeping us together so that you can dance. But moving on, we find out that Mitchie is kind of like a next level liar. Like you'd assume that when her mom rocked up, she'd immediately try to lie to get her to leave, but no, she just kind of shoots her with her eyes and then whips out a, oh my god, you guys don't know her? She cooked for everyone. Like we're talking Nick and Jessica pre-breakup. Honestly, even in 2008, I feel like that might have been a dated joke. Oh god, maybe not though, it was 15 years ago. But a little bit scary here, Mitchie. Why do you even want to be this person's friend?
I don't know, she just doesn't seem like she's your type, you know? You've always been so
Invisible?
You had someone who wanted to be your friend immediately, and you probably would have ended up with a bigger friend group than just the 3 you have now if you'd stuck with Caitlin. Oh well, new performance time though, and oh god, it is literally like the Jingle Bell Rock scene in Mean Girls, but with like 3 extra dancing minions for our Regina. And this song is very rough. It does not pass the bop test. Very low on that bop meter, Brody. Mitchie, you could have been singing a solo, but here you are doing less work than Taylor Swift's backup singers. Yeah, I see that look on your face, the regret, too late. Also, I gotta ask, are the songs this overproduced in High School Musical as well? Like, do they also sound like they're not really being sung by the people on screen?
Too cool for you.
High School Musical would even have a better excuse for that than this, which is like, no, this is a live performance, we promise. We'll see if Mitchie learns her lesson from this, but first it's time for her first actual meeting with Shane, you know, where he can see her face. And it's nice, she just tells him that she likes the sound of the song he's working on and he shouldn't worry about delivering what the label always wants. So because he trusts her opinion, he tests out a new song on her. Oh no, why is he looking into her eyes so intently?
You're the voice I hear inside my head, the reason that I'm singing.
Oh my god, this is amazing. Do you guys know that Joe Jonas can make his voice sound like 2 different people at once? Why didn't you just cut the backing vocals from this track for the movie and leave it in for the actual soundtrack? Holy shit. Because I know that's actually what happened, but I feel very confident you can't just make your voice sound like 2 people. Okay, no, that just sounds like a cat trying to throw up. I at least can't do it. Though once I moved past that production issue, I realized that this song also sounds familiar. And for that chorus, this is a higher tier bop. Like we get a decent verse, but that chorus, excellent vibe, very high on the bop meter. But what kind of camp movie would it be if there wasn't a food fight?
Stop! Okay, you guys stop!
Okay, well actually that barely took off. Like the spaghetti doesn't even have sauce. Like I guess Disney was like, do you know how long it took to fix everything after Eddie's $1 million cook-off? We're never again. So the 3 of them get pulled out in question as to who threw the food first. And this is a deciding moment for Mitchie. She can stand up for Caitlin, who had the food dumped on her first, or back up Tessa's story for Caitlin technically throwing the food first. And she fails. Caitlin goes down with no chance to explain herself and gets relegated to kitchen duty, which will obviously expose Mitchie. Not that Caitlin ever would have cared if you hadn't sucked so hard and lied. Like, she's just too good for you, Mitchie. But they can't just expose it normally. We get hijinks.
Mitchie? Oh, this is rich. But apparently you're not.
Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo. But this back and forth is super weird. Caitlin rightfully calls her out for lying. Mitchie defends it by saying she just wanted to fit in, which again, you would have fit in with another group that also seemed well liked at camp if you just hadn't sucked. Like this wasn't a friends or no friends situation. But her response to Caitlin makes no sense.
You hide too. The whole I don't care about anything attitude. Well, if you don't care, why are you here?
I'm sorry, what if she just likes camp rocking? Yeah, that back and forth needed a little bit more script work, team. Anyways, it's pajama jam night, which means maybe we'll finally get some rock. There's no way, what is she doing?
She's really good.
There's no way they're serious. I need to know what the fill-in song for this moment was, because there is no way this is what they were listening to. Holy shit. It sounds like a Game Boy glitching out. Thankfully, Tess lies about a snake to stop it. Oh, I'm sorry. Are we not supposed to agree with the choice to have it shut off? My bad.
Okay, what is that?
Whatever, major loser.
Oh no, that is a new level of mean girl cringe. Why do I feel like someone's kid did that to them at home and they were like, that's the ultimate insult, guys, we gotta include it. But hey, this is finally where Mitchie stands up for Caitlin by just being a bitchy mean girl back.
Whatever major loser? That is so last year. Everyone knows that. Well, I guess not everyone.
Yeah, the best tactic here would have been just not laughing and saying it was rude. That would have been so awkward. Like, the flip up here is kind of absurd, but at least she finally realizes that Tess sucks. Oh wait, no, she didn't. They're still gonna hang out? And she's still gonna ditch Caitlyn? Okay. I really assumed that Tess was gonna get some major retaliation here, like trash her music book. Now, as could be inferred, Caitlyn and Tess used to be friends, making this even more like Mean Girls. Caitlyn is just Janice Ian. Except Mitchie decided to suck up to the plastics all on her own. Now, I will say it is very relatable to be young and wanting to be popular without actually stopping to think if you like those popular people and would even enjoy hanging out with them. Especially when you're younger and social scenarios feel so much bigger because you're just forced to be in one place with everyone, but Mitchie doesn't even get anything good from being friends with Tess. No one else really seems to want to be their friends or even respects them. Like, at least the other two are nice, but she can't even show off her talent. At a camp that's all about showing off talent.
Did you enjoy singing backup?
But now it seems like the movie is shifting from Mean Girls to Cinderella. Shane has been trying to figure out who sang that song the very first day, so we kind of like puts it out there into the universe so that he can try and get people to sing for him at random, which is like the equivalent of a vocal slipper. And it's all mostly terrible, and Mitchie doesn't even bother trying because she doesn't realize anyone overheard her that day. Wow, this all could have potentially been avoided if Shane had just said he overheard the singing from the dining area that day. Like, the logic of, oh, he's never heard me sing doesn't make sense because he doesn't know who he heard sing, which means that person also doesn't know he heard them sing. It's extra weird too because she literally asks him about it and he doesn't think, hey, why don't you sing for me too? They're just too busy flirting. So even though Mitchie suffered no consequences from being bitchy to Tess, it will all go to shit, I'm sure, because she's overheard Mitchie talking to her mom and realizes she's been lying.
The label has to let us do this. They won't. Look at what they made us call the band.
I must say I do love that they acknowledge that Connect 3 was a label creation, which absolutely has to be what the J-Bros technically are, right? Like, I guess if anybody is super knowledgeable about the creation of the Jonas Brothers, like, other than them being brothers, like, how did they become a thing? Like, it really just seems like Disney just scooped them up, so I'm just kind of guessing they were already a well-to-do family? And I also totally didn't catch that the camp dude was Shane's uncle.
I finally talked my nephew into singing us a song!
That doesn't really make sense, but sure, Shane's gonna sing us a song with the Connect 3 gang in tow. I love that they're all just sit-swaying to this rock song like, open up that pit, kids! Oh no, Tess saw Shane making direct eye contact with Mitchie. It is extra over now because obviously Tess is one of the many people simping for him at camp. So this is obviously when she drops the bomb that her mom is the Camp Rock cook, which I really hope most of them wouldn't have cared about, but because she lied, it does become a bigger problem.
You're a real jerk. But at least I'm not a big fat liar.
Yeah, she's being a bitch, but she's not entirely wrong.
Shane.
You were lying all summer.
Wait, why would it matter to him that her mom was the cook?
You wanted to be friends with Shane, great, not me.
Does he really think she was lying to get close to him when he's the one who went after her?
Being a jerk is a part of the rock star image.
Keeping up an image can be tiring.
Like, I get it to an extent. He thought he was relating to someone who has a similar life experience to him, but still. Ugh, so dumb. Bad movie logic all around. I get it though. They need drama. They need him to be upset. Now, of course, Tess starts skulking around Shane's place and overhears the song he's been trying to find the singer of. And she recognizes it as Mitchie's, who for some reason still hasn't moved her stuff out of the cabin. So she goes to find the book, and it looks like she's memorizing the lyrics. Or she's just reading them out loud so that it's pieced together that we as the audience know that she recognized the song, even though that was already terribly obvious.
I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be now.
Gonna let the light shine on me.
The hijinks are coming because her plan seems even more nefarious. She sets her up for theft.
Tess thinks that Mitchie and Caitlyn stole her charm bracelet.
What? That's it. That is my charm bracelet.
I've got to ban you guys from the rest of camp activities until the end of Final Jam.
So Mitchie and Caitlyn won't even be around at the final jam to contest the song theft if she does that.
I've got to ban you guys from the rest of camp activities until the end of Final Jam.
Okay, he said it a weird way twice. Is this like his weird way of saying, like, I think she's a little shit, so I'm giving you a chance to participate? We'll see. No idea why she hasn't deployed that song yet before the final jam, unless that was never Tessa's plan. Like, I guess she probably realized her voice wouldn't sound the same, but if she knew the lyrics, he'd have to be like, I guess maybe that's who I heard? I guess that makes her less evil than I anticipated, or she just has a lot of artistic integrity, which I guess I respect. Either way, her group is imploding just before the final performance.
Stop! Tess!
telling us what to do. BTW, your lip gloss is so not glossy anymore.
Not the lip gloss! But into the final jam, the first song, Hasta la Vista, actually slaps. Good job, Camp Rock. You saved some of the goodies till the end. Might not actually be a rock song, but it does in fact rock harder than almost everything we've heard up to this point. That's going pretty high on the bop meter. Now thankfully, Tess somehow has a bunch of other backup dancers at her disposal, and her mom's here. That's nice for her, though. I'm sure there's gonna be some humiliation in her near future. I will say this song isn't that bad. It's definitely the best of the three we hear in the movie. It's not great by any means, but there are some bop moments. But before she can finish the performance, her mom ends up answering a call, which is just so shitty. Like, you're the famous musician. Whoever's calling will wait for you. But the final performance of the night is Margaret finally learning to shine on her own without Tess, with some very weird flashback to the rest of camp and her being shitty, so we know that's what it's about. Just some really weird editing choices here. Now the song itself sounds pretty familiar, but not in a way that like I recognize the song, just that the song sounds like a bunch of other songs. And also, for the love of God, just teach people to make it kind of look like they're playing the song if you're gonna have them with the guitar. But it all leads into some personal growth for Tess. She even tells Camp Dude that Mitchie and Caitlin didn't steal anything, and she apologized to her actual friends.
I didn't know you were that good, and when someone's that good, someone should tell them.
Oh, we love a character growth. But that's the end of Final Jam, which means it's time for Mitchie and Caitlin, just as this dude intended.
It's the end of Final Jam.
I was so hoping you'd catch on.
What even is his name? Brown Cesario. Yeah, I'm just gonna keep calling him this dude. Also, Caitlin doesn't perform, so fuck her, I guess. The world just wasn't ready for this.
She's really good.
So Mitchie hits the stage alone, belting out her song, and we get the slow-mo head turn from Shane. But I gotta say, does this part of the song not sound like it's about to go into Happy Ending by Avril Lavigne?
No more hiding who I wanna be.
All this time you were pretending, so much for my happy ending. Like, it's not spot on, but it's like pretty close. Now obviously Shane's been prepping his addition to the song, so he rocks right on in there.
You're the voice I hear inside my head, the reason that I'm singing.
Not even gonna try to lie, this song slaps. The chorus goes even harder than it did by the lake. We are at maximum bop levels right now. This is, in terms of camp rock music, we are at the top of the bop meter. We are going off the bop meter when they're working together here. Like when Shane comes in with that,
I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be now.
ooh, she good. This has to be the ultimate camp rock bop, so imagine my surprise when they don't win the final jam. Margaret does, which sure, that's nice. She gets out of the shadow of her friend and learned to shine, but so did Ella. This movie did really subvert a lot of my different expectations, but like, not really in a way that ever made sense. Also, I love the fact that her winning isn't even a guaranteed prize. She wins the chance to record with Shane.
You just got yourself a chance to record with Shane Gray.
Who makes the final decision? Like, obviously he's gonna lay down that track with Mitchie, so he could literally just be like, sorry, Margaret, nah. Oh God, it ends off with the jam session. Wow, it's amazing that they just all know the song, the lyrics, and dance choreography to this impromptu jam session. Just call it the class song and be done with it. Oh God, is this the Camp Rock song? Do you though? Like, I guess this song does at least a little bit. But, like, I don't know if you rock as a unit. Look, a backflip! Like, I guess the song's pretty decent. It's obviously nowhere near as bad as the lows, but it really feels like the anthem to a Disney original. Like, the Demi Jonas song actually sounds like a proper song. Also, I just love that this is so firmly a Disney original aimed at a younger demographic, so there is no kissing, just a very awkward extended eye look. Oh God, okay, some of the movie was bops, some of that is like the most confused I've ever been. Oh wait, no, sorry, it's not over, we get a 3 months later! Is Mitchie famous? Is she recording with Shane? Oh no, it's just Caitlin's garage studio. We're getting to like see the girls all getting along now, so I guess that's cool. And this song's actually pretty good. It is definitely better than the We Rock Camp Rock song, but I get the feeling that this was written for the movie and they didn't really know where to put it, so they just added in this scene. I really love that the first 45-ish minutes of this movie are just some of the worst songs I've heard in a Disney movie, and then they just slap all the bangers at the end.
We'll do it together. Come on, you know
Well, I guess they're cool being backup singers as long as it's for Mitchie. Did the movie need to have a specific runtime or something? Like, does Disney Channel play commercials in the States? I know here in Canada, the Family Channel didn't, so things would just end at really awkward times, but I think this is like an hour and 37 minutes. I could see that being the length it needs to be to make a 2-hour block of time on Disney and account for commercials. Because this just would have been the perfect moment to have all the credits going by, you know, like they did in School of Rock, where they also at least gave everyone a chance to shine in that final performance. Well, except for Katie on bass, she does not get a solo. Oh wait, did they just add this song in between so they could restart the We Rock Camp Rock song in the credits so it wouldn't just be like back to back? Who knows? That's the movie. Wait. Just 1 second. That weird death cult march didn't happen in this movie. Does that mean? Is there a Camp Rock 2? Oh no! Anyways, that is gonna do it for today's video. Let me know what you guys are thinking down below. Are you camp rockers? Were you camp rockers? Can you at least enjoy poking fun at it like I can enjoy poking fun at Twilight? Where did that box set... Anyway, let me know what you're thinking. Here on screen is my unofficial bop ranking of where I believe each song ranks up. Let me know yours, and I decided to leave the performances alone because, I don't know, I've probably bullied enough kids today. But thank you all so much for watching. Thanks again to Raycon for sponsoring the video, and to my YouTube channel members and Patreon supporters. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. You're getting kind of close to 600K. Leave a like on the video if you're into that, and my social medias are listed down below if you want to follow me there. I hope you're all having a fantastic day. I'm actually mostly okay, and we'll catch you all later.